behind the net for Florida. Bennett out in front. He'll bat one. Save made by Andersen. Loose puck, tops of the circle. Forsling shot. That'll go wide. And now it's Verhaeghe with a break. And his shot goes just wide. Excellent play defensively to get back and deny the pass by Jacob Slavin. Keeshan back in his own zone makes a nice play away from Rodriguez.
And Keeshan looks the part again. There he goes.
Now he'll back in one up Stankoven. Stankoven with a shot. He scores! Logan Stankoven. And for the first time in this series, the Canes have a lead. It's 1-0. Carroll. Alexander Barkov trying to turn. Slavin takes him down to the ice neatly. Schmidt will keep it in across for Bolinski's. His shot through traffic. Rebound was available as it was off the catching glove of Andersen.
What a play by Slavin. Saved a goal after being physical on Barkov.
That looked like Carolina Hurricanes hockey, people. What do you think? How about that? And we got another game to play. Got another game to watch. Got another game to go to if you are fortunate enough to be able to. Because we have Game 5 on Wednesday at Lenovo Center. I am Adam Gold. This is the Canes Corner podcast. We are brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it's for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. No place like it. Sammy Hanna and his crew do a great job. Shouts to all of you who are hanging out. We'll head to the comments line and we'll say hi to wherever you people happen to be across this great globe of ours. It is a great globe, isn't it? Why don't we just start here? Why don't we just start by saying, welcome to the Eastern Conference Finals, Carolina Hurricanes hockey. At least the version of it played by the Carolina Hurricanes. Because we heap a lot of praise on the Florida Panthers, and we should, because they're the best damn team in the league. But they play a very similar way to Carolina. Nobody seems to hate that. Granted, when the puck goes in the net, everything looks awesome. Doesn't matter what it is if the puck goes in. And Carolina, for all of their hurricanesy ways, still had trouble putting the puck in the net. But they got one. Turns out that's all they would need. They actually had two, but it was chalked off for being offside. Good call. Then they got the two empty netters. The first one, I'm not going to say it ended the game because there was still more than 2 minutes left. The second one definitely ended the game. But there were a lot of firsts for Carolina in this game tonight. It was the first time in the series they had the lead at any point. And when you consider how Rod, the head coach, when he's been talking for so long about how hard it is to chase the game. And when you chase the game against the best team, it just makes your life miserable. And it feels as though you have to win the game on every shift. And the Hurricanes, for as long as this game stayed scoreless, they were able to play and settle into the game. They had a bunch of chances. I think they had easily more good scoring chances than Florida did tonight. According to Natural Stat Trick, in all situations, the Panthers only had, I believe, 2 grade A scoring chances. You go back and look at the final numbers. That's it. 2. I'm sorry, 3. They ended up with 3 that must have been on either a late power play or the 6-on-5. Because at 5-on-5, they had 2 great scoring chances, and that's how they ended the game. And both of those came in the first 8 minutes. But that's how good Carolina was tonight. Now, can they repeat it? Can they do that again on Wednesday at Lenovo Center against the team that has lost just twice on the road? They lost games 1 and 2 in the Toronto series in Toronto. Other than that, they beat Tampa 3 times in Tampa and won games 5 and 7 in Toronto before winning games 1 and 2 at Lenovo Center. So I'm not saying I don't know that Carolina's going to see a game 6, but I don't think I'm telling a lie if I said there weren't a lot of people who thought we would see a Game 5. But the Hurricanes finally got to their game. They got a lead. They protected Frederik Andersen in a big way. And they had the best player in the game. Let's see if we can all guess who that is. Judging from the highlights in the open, the best player in the game was Jaccob Slavin. No points. Who cares? Who cares? 28 minutes of Slavin time tonight. Penalty kill goes 4 for 4. A lot of that's on 74. Brent Burns played well too. It was a good bounce back night for the blue line. Dmitry Orlov was a good player. Alexander Nikishin was really good. Oh, man. It's good to see, right? But it was Hurricanes hockey as we know it. Right down to the why are you passing the puck as opposed to shooting it? Very Canesy tonight. And you see what it looks like when Carolina can create the pressure on Florida. Now, no Nico Mikkola. That mattered. He has been, in my opinion, the best player in this series. So there's no Mikkola. We haven't had Reinhart for a few games now. And no AJ Greer on the back end, on the fourth line for Florida. But Florida's got plug-and-play NHL players, whether it's Jesper Boqvist or, Nico Sturm. Now, they did bring in, Balinskis, who I don't think he played a ton tonight, but has been part of their defensive core pretty much all season. I don't know how good he is. Does have, I think, a couple of points against Carolina during the regular season, including a goal. But either way, the Hurricanes finally applied the pressure to the Panthers. And for, I think, 2 periods, to go back and look at it, through 2 periods, yeah, the Hurricanes had a 23-12 edge in shots. Again, it was everything that we had hoped we would see from Carolina in this series. We would see them get to their game. We would see them apply legitimate pressure, stress on Florida's back line, who, when I watched the beginning of the Toronto series, and even Game 3, which Florida came back to win, I remember saying, I'm not so sure this blue line is all that great. And then, against Carolina, oh, okay. And Seth Jones played really well the last handful of games against Toronto. I think Game 7, he was awesome, right? But with Ekblad and Forsling and Jones and Nate Schmidt's a good player. I don't think he's a great player, but he's a good player. And Mikkola has been awesome in the series. They've been able, Dmitry Kulikov is, I mean, if he's your 6th defenseman, you're doing okay. Remember, like last year with Carolina, 5-6 was Orlov and Chatfield. It's pretty damn good blue line if you could pull that off. Well, Carolina's not that way right now. And coming off of the game on Saturday where Orlov was so bad, and you're without Chatfield and Walker, you know, it was easy to believe that they wouldn't be able to handle what Florida was going to throw at them. But the veterans stepped up. The rookie stepped. I mean, what a dynamite game for Nikishin. He was really good on Saturday, one of the few players who was good. He was good on Saturday. But he made an impact tonight. He made a positive impact tonight. He wasn't just good. He impacted the game in a positive way. And again, the assist, that's an instinctive elite play. He defended well earlier in that sequence. That's a that's a loose puck that he comes from the left side of the ice, races over, pounces on it, doesn't dust it off, doesn't look. He knows where Logan Stankoven is. And just a quick backhand punch up the ice right to Stankoven, who went in and beat Bobrovsky with one of the elite shots that we have seen. High, just off the inside of the post and off the back bar. And Carolina's got a 1-0 lead. Not for a second did I think that was going to hold up. Not for a single second did I think that was going to hold. But it ended up being the game-winning goal. And that was a play, yes, incredible finish. But hat tip. Hat tip to the 23-year-old Necas playing in his third NHL Stanley Cup playoff game. He was dynamite. Stankoven, once again, excellent. On the post-game show, my 3 stars were Andersen 3, Stankoven 2, Slavin 1. And I gave Necas the player of the game, partially because of the pass being so elite, but he just played a good game, a solid game. And real quick, since I have glanced through it, was he the best player in the game? No, he wasn't the best player in the game. He wasn't even the best defensive player in the game. He was probably fourth on that list. But he was good. You need guys to be good. And he was good. And we should just be thrilled that, think about this. The Hurricanes won a playoff game against the defending champs, and honestly, still likely to be the Stanley Cup champs if it's not Edmonton, in their building in a closeout game. And by the way, TNT, and we make factual statements, and I didn't hear any of the commentary, but coming into tonight in potential elimination situations, Andersen was 5-8 with a .299, I almost said earned run average, goals against average. Well, he was significantly better than that tonight. Good for Freddie. Games 1 and 2 were hard. They were hard for him. He did not play great. He didn't play bad. It wasn't terrible. There were no bad goals, but there were no big saves. It's okay to make a big save. You have to, in the Stanley Cup, in the conference finals, if you want to win, you're going to have to come up with some saves that you wouldn't otherwise come up with. I'm not sure one of those wasn't against Carter Verhaeghe in the first period, though. Looked like Verhaeghe was targeting definitely, it didn't look like it. He was targeting the inside of the far post coming in off the left. And Andersen definitely got a piece of the puck. Did he change the puck's trajectory? I don't know. But he definitely got a piece of it. So you get credit for that save. He made a couple of really, really nice saves. And then he just had to be steady. Because I thought in front of him, Carolina was really good. And again, it looked like the Hurricanes. And that's what we've been looking for at any point during this series. But we finally got it in game number 4. The penalty kill. Absolutely elite. Slavin, Burns, Orlov, Necas even got some penalty kill time. Goss to spare. But man, did the forwards do some work. Look, Slavin and your goalie, your blue line and your goalie, that's where the spine of your penalty kill. But boy, were Carolina's forwards active and determined and blocking shots. Jarvis, Martinook blocked a shot. Slavin blocked several. I think Aho might have gotten one too. Look, they were awesome tonight. And Florida didn't really have that many good looks on the power play, and they had 4 of them. They had 4 full ones. And they didn't really have very many great scoring chances. That was an elite penalty kill tonight. And it's the kind of penalty kill that Carolina has to have on Wednesday. Florida scored 4 power play goals in 5 tries in the first 2 games. There's a lot of reasons why Carolina was behind 3-0 in the series. But losing the first 2 games at home, Florida's power play, how big a role? Game 1 better than game 2, but there was a significant boost for Florida from their power play on the road in North Carolina, at Carolina, whatever I'm trying to say. But the penalty kill was elite tonight. Didn't allow really anything, and if they did, Andersen was obviously there. All right, now, can we get rid of the stupid, lazy, they've lost 15 in a row, haven't won since June the 1st. Yeah, I know. It's almost 7,000 days. Like, it is factual, right? We can't say that they're lying because it's a fact. The Canes lost 4 in a row to the Penguins in 2009. They lost 4 to the Bruins in 2019. They lost all 4 to the Panthers in 23. And those are the 4 that actually matter. But I get it. It's not as much fun to say that they have lost 7 in a row when you could say they have lost 15 in a row. And you could say the last conference finals win was Game 7 at home against Buffalo, June 1st, 2006. It's been 19 years. We're coming up on the anniversary of it. What do you get, the Caniac, for the 19th anniversary of his last conference finals win? Well, now we don't have to do that anymore because the last conference finals win was tonight. Oh, what will they talk about? The Hurricanes can't win on the road. They could talk about, wait, no! Hurricanes 4-3 on the road in the playoffs this year. 1 game, 1-5 in Washington. They won game 4 in New Jersey. So 1-1, 2-1, whatever it is. Hurricanes, they're not bad on the road. So we're done with that. Still need some big goals. But you got one from Logan Stankoven tonight. All right, now some things I would like to see better from Carolina. Really, some things I would like to see better. Can we please shoot the puck when we have an opportunity? Andre tonight, trying to pass the puck across to Eric Robinson. Andre, Bubby, shoot the puck. Just shoot it. I thought when Svechnikov came in down the right, it was second period. It was before Carolina scored. Svechnikov came in down the right, blew by everybody. It's got a terrible angle, but as Wayne Gretzky said, no such thing as a bad shot. Took the shot. It created a rebound. And what happened right after that? Jarvis, Gostisbehere, Aho all had scoring chances. It's just not that complicated. We have to get some of these guys to understand that it's okay to shoot even if it isn't a goal, because the shot might create something else. In that situation, Andre's shot, I'm sure he's trying to score, but it created 3 more scoring chances. Let's shoot the puck. Sebastian Aho, when you're ahead of the field, when there's only you and the goalie, yes, I know there was pressure in the back. And you thought, well, if I stop and turn, I can pass it across to Jarvis. Yeah, you can, but It wasn't a better look than the one you had. It was super frustrating to watch some of that tonight. There were more goals in this game for Carolina. Maybe there was an element still of antsiness about them offensively, but I thought they looked much cleaner for most of the night. They didn't beat the puck up like they did in the first two games. And again, if we go back to game 3, Carolina's second period was their best period. That was the first period in this series where they won the period. I mean, granted, you were outscored 16-4 coming in. So now it's 16-7. Still sounds bad, but it is what it is. But just got to shoot the puck. Aho, Svechnikov, shoot it. Don't try to make too many passes. Shoot it. Shoot it and go get it. What are the staples of this team? Obviously, the penalty kill. Shooting the puck from everywhere. Get it through, get it on net, go get the rebound. This is what this team is made to do. This is the way they're designed. Don't be afraid to shoot the puck. It's another night under 30 shots for Carolina. Granted, Florida doesn't allow a ton of shots either, but there were a lot more shots to be had tonight for Carolina if they didn't make so many silly passes. They can get through that kind of stuff. I mean, they have a legitimate, let's pump the brakes on that. You just got to shoot it. So I'll tell you what, let's say hi. Say hi to some people. And we're not going to be able to get all the way through this. Bluefield, West Virginia checking in. Lake Hickory, William with his Appalachian Longleaf IPA. My wife brought home a blood orange blonde ale. Ooh, very delicious. Really good. Callie Kaniak's checking in. William, also, Necas doesn't leave the lineup, right? Best player on the ice? Again, no. Doesn't leave the lineup. I think if Chatfield and Walker are healthy enough to play and the Hurricanes are still playing games, yeah, Necas leaves the lineup. Those two guys have been playing too well to not have in the lineup. Chatfield, 1,000,000% comes back. But yes, Necas would leave the lineup. Michael checking in from Moldova. We're huge in Moldova. Cincinnati, or is it Cincinnati? Hanging out. I appreciate that. Charlotte checking in. We're big down under. Adelaide Hills, Perth, and other points of reference checking in. All right, we got a lot of things. All right, so let's get back to the game. Let's talk about how good a job Carolina's top two lines today, in my opinion. The Staal line with Stankoven and Martinook, funnily enough, is funnily a word? I don't think so. Funnily enough, I'll use it again. I thought they were really good. In terms of shot attempts, Natural Stat Trick doesn't rate them. But I thought they were good as a line. They didn't play a lot. And they didn't play against, I don't believe they played against Barkov or Bennett's line. I think they got the Lundell line, which, frankly, if I'm Rod, I don't hate, because I think that line, especially with Marchand on it, I think that line has been awesome. But I do think it's worth pointing out how good Stankoven's been. And one of the things they said about him yesterday was that Stankoven is not afraid of anything. He's just a hockey player. He lives in the inside of the ice. He gets the rebound power play goal in Game 3, flips it over Bobrovsky for the goal that tied the game at 1 in the second period. So, I mean, he lives around the net. He had a great opportunity in the first period early. Was it early? Well, it's first period, so it's early. Where he has the puck squirt out to him from behind the net. Not sure if Martinook passed it to him or not. My memory is soft. And he just skied it. He was in so tight, he tried to go underneath the crossbar, and he ended up throwing it well over the crossbar. But it's just a great chance to score. And Carolina had a bunch of chances, I thought, early, and just couldn't get one to go. But I thought it was basically an even period. But that's fine. Get out of the first period even playing well, because I thought Florida had, obviously, early in the first, they had most of their good chances here. But it was just good to see Carolina get through the first period, not with the Panthers in front. And as soon as Florida was going to get the lead, we've talked about this. A few years ago, Tampa could get one and know they were going to shut it down. Know it. I think Florida's the same way. I think Florida, and they might even do it better. I don't know. But I think Florida is the same way that Tampa was a few years back. Oh, we got a goal? We don't need anything else. We got all the goals we need. And now you guys are going to have to try to figure out a way to get through us. And by the way, behind us, we have arguably the best goalie in the league. At least the best playoff goalie in the league. And Bob had to make a couple of tough saves tonight. And Carolina continued to apply the pressure. But yeah, it was good, really good to end the first period, even scoreless, and then you get the goal. The thing about it, and I think everybody thinks probably the same thing. You watch the second period, and Carolina was awesome in the second period. Awesome. And you just had this feeling that, oh my gosh, they're so good, they're so good, they're so good. You just know Florida's going to go down the other end and get a goal. While Carolina's being so good because it had still been a 0-0 game. And then Necas makes the play. He jumps on the loose puck. Backhand, perfect pass to Stankoven. And he scores. It's really good. When we talked about in game 1 about the moments and winning the big moments is always the difference in sports. Winning big moments can be a momentum changer. We see it all the time coming out of big penalty kills. Every one of Carolina's penalties, the power plays that they had to kill, every single one seemed absolutely critical. The first 2, it's a 0-0 game. The third one was right after, I believe, Stankoven had made it 1-0. No, I think there were 2 in the third period. I guess they didn't come until the third period. But you just knew, here's where Florida ties it up. Everybody said it, right? But that's when you win those moments, when your penalty kill comes through, when you get that big goal that you needed, that's the difference. Now, Carolina probably deserved a couple more goals than they put on the board, but we're used to that anyway. And if it weren't for this guy, they might have lost.
Barkov trying to turn. Slavin takes him down to the ice neatly. Schmidt will keep it in across for Bolinski's. His shot through traffic. Rebound was available as it was off the catching glove of Andersen.
What a play by Slavin. Saved a goal.
Back flag. Drag. Shoots. And that's blocked. What a play. Seth Jarvis and Jacob Slavin both leaving their feet at the exact right time to knock that shot over the glass into the netting.
You betcha.
And it was Slavin's skate.
Right now,
that
it's
blocked
Verhaeghe with a
shot.
break, and his shot goes just wide. Excellent play defensively to get back and deny the pass by Jacob Slavin.
Yep. Slavin did so many good things tonight. Blocking shots, getting in the way passes. He was tremendous. Tremendous. And he's so poised with the puck, especially deep in his own end, under pressure. And that's part of why Carolina's penalty kill is so damn good, is because he's a huge part of it. 28 minutes tonight. He played a ton late in the game as well, but 28 minutes tonight for Slavin, and I want to see exactly how much of it was shorthanded. 6 minutes and 10 seconds shorthanded. There were only 8 minutes of power play for Florida tonight. He had 6 minutes and 10 seconds on the penalty kill. Just want to make sure I got that right, because that's an insane number. Yes, 6:10 on the penalty kill tonight. Phenomenal. Hey, one more thing. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I wanted to mention it. He got the shorthanded, the empty net goal. But this was a really good game from Sebastian Aho. As a matter of fact, the last time the Hurricanes, before Saturday, the last time they were in Florida for a game against the Panthers, Aho didn't have a point in the game. And Rod Brindamore said it might have been the best game he has played for the Hurricanes. When you're playing on the road against that team, sometimes your job, while you certainly would have loved to have seen Aho bury a couple of chances that he did have. There was a pass across from Andrei Svechnikov to him that really needs to be a goal, and it wasn't. He had another opportunity that Seth Jones, he drew a penalty from Seth Jones on, which unfortunately knocked him off the puck. But that was also a great opportunity to get ahead of the game early. But when you play a team like Florida in their building and you don't control matchups and you know what they're about, and on top of that, there's a target on Aho's back anyway, it would be easy to kind of shrink from that moment. But, man, Sebastian was really good tonight. He was really good. Who cares about the empty net goal other than it allowed you to breathe a little bit easier headed to the finish line? But Aho played a big game tonight. A very, very big game. And again, I said this before. I think Andre was all over the place. I thought his decisions with the puck were not ideal at all. But he played a high-energy, physical game. And in many ways, that's why we have a game number 5. So we'll be there at Lenovo Center, Game 5 on Wednesday night. Yes, we'll see everybody there. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it is for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hanna and his crew do a great job. You should check them out. For all of your exterior home improvement needs, it's the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. And we get to talk about them one more time on Wednesday.
Keeshan back in his own zone makes a nice play away from Rodriguez.
Keeshan looks the part again. There he goes.
Now he'll back in one up Stankoven. Stankoven with a shot. He scores! Logan Stankoven. And for the first time in this series, the Canes have a lead. It's 1-0. Carolina on another bullet by Logan Stankoven.
Keeshan with his first point in the NHL. What a pass he made across the ice to the red-hot Logan Stankoven, who goes top cheese for your first lead in the series.
Top cheese. See everybody Wednesday.